She watched the human battle barehanded and whispered, "I want him to be mine." Captain Sarai Vex thrust her pulse rifle forward. "Drop it, human. Doctrine Article 47. All Xeno assets disarm on secure lines." Staff Sergeant Jonah Cade halted mid-stride. His gloved hands gripped the stock of his bulky human ballistic rifle. He scanned Sarai's trench line. 15 armored Kresh troops flanked her, emitters primed. Beyond them, War Archivist Khal Rune hovered in his sealed pod, data quills twitching. Jonah's eyes locked on Sarai. He ejected the magazine, let it clatter into the dust, slid the rifle to her squad's feet. Sarai's mandibles clicked approval. "Secure him!" 2 Kresh advanced, restraint fields humming. Khal Rune's pod hissed open. "Captain, that contraband qualifies as high-threat tech." "My codes supersede," a raider burst from the ridge smoke. Pack leader Sarth Yun's elite armored in reactive plate, claws extended. It targeted Jonah. 20 meters out, sprinting, Sarai barked. "Emitter lock!" Her troops fired, pulses scorched earth. The raider jinked, dodged. Closed to 10 meters, Jonah stepped into its path. Unarmed, fists loose at sides, the raider leaped. Claws raked for the human's throat. Jonah twisted, caught the incoming arm mid-swing, locked wrist over elbow, yanked. Bones snapped. The raider howled. Plate buckled under bare knuckles. Jonah drove his heel into the creature's knee. Cartilage popped, it crumpled. Sarai's troops froze, emitters wavered. The raider slashed with its free claw. Jonah absorbed the hit on his forearm guard, pivoted, slammed fist into the joint seal. Armor split exposed flesh. He gripped the raider's helmet crest, wrenched sideways, neck vertebrae cracked. The body went limp. Jonah dropped it, faced Sarai's line. Blood dripped from his knuckles. He said nothing. Sarai's grip tightened on her rifle. Doctrine shredded in her mind. No human broke Kresh plate barehanded, not in Sims, not in archives. Khal Rune's quills spiked. "Seize it, that's no infantry, contraband predator." Sarai waved him silent, stepped forward, eyed Jonah's stance, balanced, ready. "You fight like raiders take nests, unrestrained." Jonah wiped his hands on his fatigues, met her gaze. "Standard procedure, Captain." Her squad shifted, restraints offline. They waited her word. Explosions rocked the ridge. Sarth Yun's second wave breached. 20 raiders vaulted the line. Claws ignited plasma edges. They funneled straight for the human. Sarai raised her comm. "All units consolidate on my position. Forward asset priority." Khal Rune sputtered. "Asset, he's my requisition. Quota 9B. Overridden." Sarai keyed her personal channel, linked Jonah's transponder to her squad net. "Cade, you move with me now. Forward scout, my call." Jonah nodded once, retrieved his rifle, no questions. Raiders hit the trench lip. Sarai's line fired, 2 dropped. The rest plunged into melee, claws versus emitters, close quarters chaos. Sarth Yun roared from the smoke. His pack leader markings gleamed. He locked on Jonah. "The soft skin, take it alive." Sarai shoved Jonah behind a revetment. "Cover my flank," she fired point blank. Vaporized a raider's leg. Jonah shouldered his rifle, burst fired. 3 raiders shredded mid-leap. Ballistics punched through plate like foil. A raider flanked Sarai. Claw raised. Jonah lunged, tackled it midair, drove its head into the trench wall. Skull caved. Sarai spun. Blasted another. "Call, authenticate my override." The archivist's pod sealed. "Denied, political seizure imminent." Sarth's voice boomed over open channel. "Vex, yield the human or my pack carves your line." Sarai glanced at Jonah. He reloaded, calm, scanning vectors. Her mandibles parted, heat flushed her crest. Raiders pressed. One grappled her arm guard, she head-butted it. Stunned, Jonah closed, elbowed the raider's throat, snapped its windpipe, pulled Sarai clear, contact broke. 5 seconds, her line held, Sarth bellowed. Second breach. Flank them, more shadows crested. Plasma flares lit the dust. Sarai yanked Jonah's arm, pulled him into her shadow. "Stay tight, they want you." He nodded, rifle up. "Copy." Khal Rune's pod retreated behind the line. "Captain, this violates containment protocols." Sarai ignored him, fired, dropped a flanker. Melee engulfed the trench. Raiders tore into her troops, emitters overheated, claws one at arm's length. Jonah moved, fluid, picked a raider breaching her left, closed distance. Rifle butt to faceplate, shattered visor. Knife hand to throat, down, Sarai covered his exposure. "Efficient." He didn't reply, pivoted to the next. Sarth Yun dropped into the trench, towered over her squad, claws severed a Kresh trooper, eyes fixed on Jonah. "Mine." Sarai charged, pulse rifle empty. Drew her vibro blade, slashed at his midsection. Sarth parried, backhanded her. She flew into the revetment, armor sparked. Jonah blurred forward. Intercepted Sarth's follow-up, caught the claw mid-descent. Human grip versus Raider plate. Sarth snarled, pushed, Jonah held. Muscles corded, Sarai rose, blade ready. Watched, Jonah twisted, forced the claw wide, stepped in. Delivered knee to Sarth's gut plate, cracked it. Sarth recoiled, swiped low. Jonah vaulted over, landed behind, rifle slung. Bare hands again, locked Sarth's arm, hyperextended. The pack leader roared, broke free, charged. Jonah sidestepped, tripped him into 3 raiders. Collision crumpled them. Sarai's remaining troops rallied. Emitters barked. Raiders fell back. Sarth rose, bloodied, eyed Jonah. "What are you?" Jonah said nothing. Stance reset. Sarai stepped between, blade leveled. "He's mine, Yoon. Pull back or die here." Sarth hesitated, pack thinned, glared at Jonah, then at her, signaled retreat. Raiders disengaged, smoke swallowed them. Trench fell quiet. Sarai's troops panted, scanned for threats. Khal Rune emerged. "Captain, that assignment lacks authorization. Revert him to my custody." Sarai turned, locked eyes with Jonah, his knuckles still flecked with Raider blood, her crest pulsed. "No," she keyed her auth code, sealed the link. "Forward asset Cade reports to me." Doctrine amended. Jonah met her stare, silent. Khal's quills drooped. He retreated to his pod. Sarai holstered her blade, faced the ridge. Second wave held off. For now, Jonah stood at her shoulder. Ready, explosives ripped the forward corridor. Flame bloomed. Shrapnel shredded bulkheads. Sarai's squad ducked. Jonah Cade charged through the inferno. Skin blackened, uniform smoldered. He didn't falter, pushed ahead. Sarai keyed her emitter. Wedge formation, asset forward. Her troops flanked. Jonah hit the kill zone first. Raider fire converged. Bolts scorched his shoulders. He absorbed, advanced. Sarai watched his stride. Unbroken, raiders poured from side vents. Claws extended. Jonah slammed into the lead pack, drove them back. Bodies piled. Her blade hummed. She slashed the flank. But Jonah wedged deeper, shoulders wide, forced the corridor shut. Raiders clawed his arms, drew blood. He ignored, punched through. Sarai's crest flared. This human turned ambush into crush. Raiders regrouped. Barricade sealed the choke point ahead. Mines armed. Sarai signaled halt. "Breach it." Jonah nodded once. No words, he sprinted, pinned a raider as shield. Live meat deflected the first bolt. Then the trap sprung. Plasma grenade detonated point blank. Blast wave hurled debris. Jonah flew, crashed into the barricade. Wood splintered. Fire licked his form. Sarai's troops froze, scans read catastrophic damage. Human torso exposed, ribs visible, flesh charred. He rose, muscles flexed under ruin. Ignored the agony signals her visor flagged, ripped the barricade apart. Bare hands tore plasteel struts. Raiders behind fired, bolts punched his chest. He staggered, once advanced, grabbed the emitter nest, crushed the gunner, flung the weapon into the pack. Explosions chained, choke point cleared. Jonah stood amid corpses. Blood mixed with coolant from his wounds. Operational. Sarai's mandibles clicked. No doctrine covered this. Durability beyond armor. He turned, met her gaze, waited orders. Her comms crackled. Khal Rune's voice cut in. "Captain Vex, seizure writ issued. Asset Cade designated contraband tech. Delivered to containment pod. Authority code Delta 7. Sarai glanced back. Khal's shuttle hovered at trench edge. Drones deployed. Lockdown fields flickered active. Her squad shifted. Eyes on her. Jonah wiped gore from his face. Stood ready. Sarai keyed private channel. Negative archivist, asset integral to ops. Khal's quills bristled on feed. Doctrine violation, log it now or face tribunal. She muted him, faced Jonah. His burns steamed, yet stance perfect. No limp, no flinch. Forward, Cade. Ridge extraction. He moved. She matched stride. Troops followed. Drones buzzed closer. Sarth Yoon struck from the vents. Raider packs swarmed the flanks. "The human, take him alive," claws raked. Sarai's emitter barked. Dropped two. Jonah pivoted, blocked a lunge. His damaged ribs cracked audibly. He countered. Elbow shattered the raider's jaw. Pack leader Sarth leaped from above, pinned Jonah against bulkhead. Claws dug into charred flesh. "Yield, freak!" Jonah's hands locked Sarth's wrists, twisted, forced the predator off. Sarth roared. Called reserves, 20 raiders closed. Sarai's squad thinned. One fell, gutted. She slashed back. "Hold the wedge!" Jonah pushed through pain. Grabbed Sarth's leg armor, yanked, toppled the pack leader into his own. Collision broke limbs. Raiders fired wild. Jonah rose again. Blast wounds wept fluid. He charged the core, punched through 3 torsos, sequential, efficient. Sarth scrambled up. Eyed the human's ruin, hesitated, quiet fell, breather in the crush. Sarai scanned, drones circled. Khal's pod descended. Jonah panted, shallow. Leaned on bulkhead. Burns sealed with leaked blood clot. Her visor logged it. Self-cauterized. Troops regrouped. 5 left. Ridge loomed. Clear shot if they pushed. Sarth's pack bled out. Leader glared. No charge. Sarai's crest throbbed. Jonah's eyes locked hers. Silent question. She nodded. Push. Call dropped from his pod. Quills rigid. Writ enforced. Surrender the asset. Drones hummed. Containment fields deployed. Sarai stepped between. Blade drawn. Stand down, Rune. Jonah shifted. Flanked her. Ready. Call keyed. Writ projector. Hollow seals glowed. High command priority. Human exceeds quotas. Seize or destroy. Her squad tensed. Rifles up. Sarai accessed command slate. Fingers flew. Casualty log amended. Jonah Cade, KIA confirmed, body disposed. Off-grid transfer initiated. Her auth code overrode. Calls drones glitched. Fields collapsed. What falsified? Sarai holstered slate. Doctrine amended, asset mine. Jonah moved, grabbed Call's collar, lifted. Enforcer dangled, Quills limp, no resistance. Sarai signaled. Ridge, double time. Sarth rallied, final lunge. He's prey. Raiders surged. Jonah dropped Call, faced them, damaged body coiled. Sarai fired cover, troops poured bolts. Jonah met the wave, took claw swipes across Burns, ripped deeper, ignored, grabbed Sarth midair, slammed him down. Knee drove into gut plate, already cracked, shattered now. Sarth gasped, claws scrabbled. Jonah pinned, hyperextended both arms. Snap, snap, pack leader screamed, raiders faltered. Jonah rose, surveyed, advanced on the rest. They broke, fled into vents. Sarth twitched, watched helpless. Jonah turned away, no kill shot left him broken. Ridge secured, Sarai's shuttle touched down, troops loaded. Jonah boarded last, sat, wounds knit visibly, flesh pulled taut. Call slumped in corner, Writ ignored. Sarai took command throne, keyed evasion course. Off-grid vector, no tails, pilot affirmed, thrusters flared. Sarai watched Jonah. He cleaned blood from knuckles, met her stare. Crest pulsed hot, her claim solidified. Human asset, hers, shuttle banked, vanished into storm front. Call muttered codes, futile. Sarai silenced him. Jonah leaned back, eyes closed, operational, quiet held. Sarai's squad stared. Realization sank. This human endured what killed squads, rewrote survival. Her blade rested easy. Ridge faded below. No pursuit pinged, off-grid. Secure, Jonah breath steady. Sarai's gaze lingered, possessive, final. Call lurched from his corner seat. Ritpad thrust forward. By Archival Directive 47 Prime, this human asset transfers to my custody. Immediate compliance. His voice cracked over shuttle intercom. Pilot banked harder into the storm. Sarai's troops gripped rails. Jonah sat unmoved. Eyes flicked open. Shuttle shuddered. Hangar clamps locked. Airlock hissed. 4 enforcer guards stormed aboard. Calls imports. Pulse rifles leveled at Jonah. Hands visible. Restraints deploy. Sarai rose. Crest flared. Stand down, battlefield primacy holds. Call ignored her, tapped codes. Directive supersedes. Asset is contraband tech. Seize. Guards advanced, barrels inches from Jonah's chest. Sarai's squad tensed. Fingers hovered triggers. Jonah uncoiled, stood in one fluid rise. First guard lunged. Restraint cuffs extended. Jonah sidestepped. Palm struck rifle barrel, bent it sideways. Second guard fired, bolt scorched air. Jonah twisted, elbow hooked the shooter's wrist, yanked. Rifle spun free into his grip. Third guard swung stock. Jonah dropped low, swept leg. Guard toppled. Jonah reversed the fall. Knee pinned throat, rifle clattered. Fourth guard hesitated. Jonah tossed the captured weapon. It cracked helmet plate. Guard crumpled, unconscious. 3 heartbeats, 4 guards down, rifles scattered. Jonah pivoted, grabbed Call's collar, slammed him against bulkhead. Forearm barred throat. Ritpad shattered on deck. Call gurgled. Claws scraped harmlessly. Jonah held, pressure exact. No fracture, no blood. Sarai's voice cut sharp. Battlefield primacy invoked. Call Rune, you stand under temporary arrest. My command. My asset. Troops lowered weapons. Pilot sealed airlock. Jonah released. Call slid down, wheezed, coughed codes, futile. Sarai signaled. 2 troops cuffed Call, dragged him to holding webbing. Strapped tight, he glared. High command will, Sarai silenced him. Palm stunner to neck, out cold. Jonah retrieved bent rifle. Inspected, discarded, sat again, wiped hands. Sarai met his gaze, nod held, claim deepened. Human precision, surgical, lethal intent caged, quiet settled, shuttle thrummed, storm battered hull. Sarai's squad secured gear. Glances darted to Jonah. He breathed even, flesh scars faded further. No words, no boasts, troops mimicked, silence stretched. One beat, tension coiled beneath. Console pinged. Urgent relay, Sarai keyed it, hollow flickered, evac route cam feed. Civilian transports clustered, Sarth's raiders swarmed, pack leader broadcast, face scarred, arms hyperextended braces. Vex, your human broke me, now I break your civilians, 50 souls, yield him, or vents fill with chaffed dead. Feed cut to hostages, claws at throats. Shuttles locked, explosives primed on hulls, Sarth grinned, fangs chipped. 10 cycles, docking vector transmitted, come alone or watch them vent. Sarai's crest iced, rivals escalated, civilian arc broke doctrine, her vector plotted, Jonah stood, watched hollow, no flinch. Sarai keyed squad. Armory, full kit, breach teams form. Troops moved, Jonah checked his gear, minimal, Jonah nodded to her, silent packed, hangar alarms wailed, Sarai strode to command post. Pilot plot intercept, evasion off, thrusters roared, shuttle dove from storm. Toward evac cluster. Call stirred, muttered, ignored. Sarai gripped her blade. Jonah's shadow loomed near, protective. Possessive heat rose in her core. Docking clamps engaged. Airlock cycled. Sarth's vector led here. Trap primed. Sarai's troops fanned out. Jonah first through. Silent predator. Raiders waited beyond. Hostages center. Sarth elevated. Rifle trained. Bolt fire erupted. Sarai covered flank. Jonah charged center. Raiders swiveled. Claws raked air. He wove. Grabbed first rifle, redirected shot into second raider. Third swung, Jonah ducked. Shoulder drove plate, raider flew back. Into explosive crate, detonated small, shrapnel sprayed, non-lethal burst, hostages untouched, Sarth barked. Pin him! 5 raiders piled, Jonah met them, foot hooked ankle, tripped lead, used fall to vault, fist struck joints. 2 dropped, knees buckled, remaining 3 circled, Jonah spun. Captured dropped rifle, fired their own bolts into legs, precise, immobilized, no kills, hostages freed, shuttles unlocked. Civilians bolted for evac. Sarth roared, leapt down, braced arms swung. Jonah sidestepped. Caught brace, twisted, metal groaned. Sarth slammed deck. Jonah knelt, pinned again, same knee, gut plate remembered. Sarth thrashed. Yield the human. Sarai advanced. Troops secured raiders. Bound, she loomed over Sarth. He's mine. Blade tip pressed throat gap. Sarth froze. Eyes locked on Jonah. Realization hit. Human restraint. Chose subdual every time, new calculus, not feral, controlled, worse. Jonah rose, released, Sarth curled, gasped. No pursuit, raiders silent, civilians boarded, shuttles lifted. Secure, Sarai signaled all clear. Jonah scanned perimeter, clean, her gaze held his back, crest pulsed. Rules rewritten. Possession absolute, squad loaded. Final shuttle sealed, thrusters ignited, evac route cleared, quiet returned. Hangar emptied, Jonah sat. Sarai beside, hand brushed his, claim unchallenged. Calls writ dust, Sarth's leverage ash. Human edge sharpened, new facet gleamed, precision dominance, hers to wield, silence held. Sarai slammed the comms relay. All units false retreat, pull back to secondary line now. Her squad echoed the order, boots pounded ferrocrete. They funneled into the kill zone, a gutted warehouse district pre-mapped with auto turrets and claymores. Sarth's raiders shadowed from the rooftops. Pack leader's silhouette crested the far hab block. His growl crackled over open channel. Vex flees, press. Raiders dropped lines, claws scraped girders. 20 strong they poured into the open square. Sarai crouched behind a crate stack. Hartridge thrummed. Jonah flanked her left, rifle slung low. His eyes tracked shadows. No flinch. Squad held breath. Turrets whirred alive. Sarai triggered the net. Bolters spat. Claymores bloomed fire. Raiders shredded mid-leap. Limbs spun. Screams cut short. Sarth's pack halved in seconds. Survivors scrambled for cover. Trapped. Sarth bellowed from his perch. Mine! His raiders rallied, pinned but advancing. Sarai's troops poured fire. Casualties mounted. The trap held. Then rumble shook the deck. Jonah tensed. Sarai felt it too, vibration from below. Sarth's voice sliced through static. Bury the claimers, supports buckled. Explosives ripped pillars, the warehouse roof groaned. Slabs cracked, rubble avalanched. Sarai's squad scattered. A girder speared trooper Lyra, pinned her leg. Another slab crushed Vex torso. Cover collapsed into a choking, dust-choked pit. Sarai dove, claws gouged ferrocrete. She hauled at Lyra's arm. Hold, dust clawed her vents. Raider fire stitched the debris. Bolts pinged armor, suppressive hell. Jonah moved, ignored the barrage. He charged into the open. Rifle barked twice, silenced 2 raider nests. Bolts grazed his shoulder plate, scorched. He didn't slow. Grabbed Vec first, dragged the limp form back, 200 kilos of dead weight. Fire tracked him. A bolt clipped his thigh, armor held. He dumped Vec behind a slab, spun, locked eyes on Lyra. Sarai fired cover. Her bolt grazed a raider's crest. Jonah reached Lyra. Hoisted her torso. Leg stayed pinned, he braced, ripped the girder free, sparks flew. Lyra screamed, Jonah slung her over shoulder. Bolts hammered his back. Paint scorched black, he trudged through fallout. Debris pelted. A chunk clipped his helmet, cracked visor. He dropped Lyra safe, turned for the next. Raiders poured from flanks. Sarth directed from above. Pin the human, collapse the rest. Sarai's squad bled. 3 down, dust blinded scopes. Jonah ignored it. Pulled Trooper Merc next. Half buried, chest crushed. Fired one-handed while dragging. Dropped a raider mid-charge. Pain didn't register. Fire didn't halt. He stacked bodies like cargo. Allies safe. Raiders closed. Sarai's ridge pulsed fury. Jonah's stride never broke. Wounds steamed. Armor pitted. Human kept retrieving. What doctrine allowed this? Suppression shredded packs. He shrugged it off. Retrieved. Resumed fire. 12 raiders left. Her squad reformed behind him. Call's voice cut comms. Embedded enforcer safe in rear shuttle. Vex, that asset's quota triggers. Cease exposure. He's contraband. Sarai snarled. Negative, he's operational. Jonah vaulted rubble, tackled a raider mid-leap, snapped its neck, barehanded, rolled, fired into another, chest burst. Sarth dropped from his perch, claws extended. Yield him, his pack flanked, circle tightened. Sarai keyed private channel, Jonah's helmet pinged. Sergeant Cade, unrestricted rules of engagement, lethal force authorized, secure the pack leader. Jonah paused, one beat. Dust settled on his cracked visor. He rose, discarded rifle, drew combat knife. Long, serrated. Stepped into the open, raiders lunged. Jonah met the first. Knife plunged eye stalk, twisted. Raider spasmed, dropped. Second swung claws, Jonah ducked, slashed hamstring, femoral spray. Third piled on, Jonah rolled with impact, used momentum, drove knife through vents. Gurgle ended, Sarth roared, charged. Jonah sidestepped. Knife scored arm plate, Sarth wheeled, brace arms word, Jonah took the hit, plate dented. Ribs cracked audible, he countered, knife bit throat gap, not kill, incapacitate. No, deeper, Sarth gagged. Claws raked Jonah's side. Armor tore, blood welled, human blood, red and slick. Jonah didn't yield. Pinned Sarth's arm, knife plunged again, Hartridge pierced. Sarth thrashed, Jonah twisted, ended it. Pack froze, last raiders backed. Sarai advanced, squad flanked. Jonah stood over corpse, knife dripped. Wounds leaked, he scanned, no pursuit, raiders broke. Fled shadows, dust cleared, squad tallied. 5 wounded, retrieved, alive. Calls shuttle ping demand. Sarai ignored, Jonah wiped blade, sheathed, met her gaze, crest met eyes. Hand brushed his blood-smeared gauntlet, claim deepened, quiet fell. Rubble settled, raiders gone, victory absolute. Sarai signaled evac. Jonah nodded, turned to wounded. No words, just competence. Unbroken, silence held. Sarai's gauntlet slammed the emergency bulkhead control. Metal screeched, sealed the crumbling pocket entrance. Dust choked the air. She cut all transmissions, no panic pings, no fleet alerts. Containment first. Darkness swallowed the squad. Crushed walls trapped 20 survivors. Wounded groaned. Oxygen recyclers word faint. Air for hours, not days. Sarai's crest flared, listened for pursuit. No gunfire, no orders, only Jonah's gauntlet glowed. He hand-signaled, sharp, precise, closed fist, tapped wrist. Timed silence, 30 beats, pointed throats. Fingers crossed lips, no breath waste. Squad froze. Even the dying complied. Sarai's vents cycled slow. Watched. Human moved like shadow, no sound, tapped floors, mapped pressure points. Signaled shifts, one survivor at a time, minimal weight. Rubble stabilized, no further collapse. He rationed movement like ammunition. Each inch conserved. Wounded clutched sides, held breaths. Jonah signaled next, air discipline. Shallow inhales only, chest rises minimal. One alien gasped. Jonah's gauntlet clamped jaw, firm, unyielding. Gasp stopped. Eyes widened, obeyed. Sarai's pulse spiked. Humans enforced silence barehanded. Drones whined outside. Sarth's pack flooded the pocket. Sensors pierced cracks, scanned for heat. Motion, life signs, beams swept dark. Sarai pressed flat, crest low. Jonah signaled hold. Eyes locked hers, steady. Drones hummed closer. Infrared probed, squad held, lungs burned, muscles locked. No twitches, no shifts. Jonah rationed his own air, barely moved. One drone latched a seam, probed deeper. Sarai's officer node pinged internal alert. Oxygen at 70%. Wounded twitched. Jonah's hand flashed. Pinched nerve cluster, paralysis hold, non-lethal, twitch ceased. Drone passed, silence stretched. Endless, Sarth's voice boomed external. Surrender pings or we vent the pocket. Casualties total. Jonah signaled counter, tapped ears, then floors, vibration trap, used drone weight against rubble. He positioned wounded, minimal drags, Sarai mirrored. Squad followed human lead. Drones clustered entry seal, overloaded sensors. Rubble groaned under mass. Sarth barked, ping now or crush. Jonah's gauntlet glowed again, signaled detonation point, tapped her utility charge, pointed crack. Sarai armed it, placed exact. Human nodded, once. Silence enforced. No drone chatter inside. Drones pinged, surrender demand, no response. Sarth escalated, breach charge prepped. Fresh recyclers cycled better. Oxygen stabilized. Sarai stared. Humans turned prison into fortress. One gap. Drones detected anomaly, swarmed gap. Jonah signaled retreat. Squad pulled back. He wedged knife. Jammed first drone, crushed its emitter. Chain reaction. Drones piled. Jammed each other. Sarth roared, flush them. Rubble sealed tighter. Drones silenced. Quiet fell. One beat. Sarai's node tallied. Oxygen holding. Squad intact. Jonah wiped knife. Sheathed. Met her gaze. Gauntlet brushed hers. Blood dried. Claim echoed. External scans faded. Sarth's pack withdrew. No breach. No pursuit. Pocket held. Human rules rewrote siege. Sarai's crest pulsed. Watched him ration the win. Silence deepened. Sarth's remaining drones reactivated. Sarai's node pinged the swarm's resurgence. 8 intact units circled the pocket's sealed face. Their emitters locked on. High-rays scans pierced the rubble. Pack leader Sarth's voice crackled through. Visuals confirmed. Human pocket breached in 5. Surrender the asset or suffocate. Her squad tensed. Jonah crouched at the seam, knife still wedged. He signaled her. 2 fingers, eyes locked. Sarai nodded. She tapped her gauntlet. Utility charge disarmed. No second blast. Jonah pried the knife free, slid it into a micro-crevice. Waited. First drone darted in. Jonah's hand snapped out, caught its casing mid-hover. Twisted. Emitter sparked. He jammed it against the wall. Pinned. Feed looped, its own static image broadcasting back to Sarth's command. Sarai's display glitched. Enemy feed mirrored the jam. Blind spot formed. Sarth barked. Drone 12 unresponsive. Deploy 13. Jonah released the corpse. Caught the next, same twist. Loop chained. 2 feeds now faked compliance. Drones piled commands. Hold position. Jonah crushed the third. Feed looped its wreckage. Sarth's view filled with jammed husks pretending to scan. Her crest flared. Human hijacked their eyes. Not destruction. Subversion. Pocket watched back. Sarth snarled. Override protocols. Full swarm purge. 10 more drones massed. Jonah wedged the 4th. 5th. Feeds looped in cascade. Enemy command drowned in false stasis. Blinded. Sarai's squad held fire. Jonah signaled retreat. Pulled back to core. Drones jammed the entrance. Self-blocked. Sarth's roar echoed. They're stealing our net. Quiet settled. Sarai watched Jonah. He knelt. Inspected the last intact drone husk. Fingers traced its port. No tools, just pressure points. Node accessed. Feed looped permanent. He met her gaze. Gauntlet brushed hers again. Dried blood flaked. Claim pulsed unspoken. Call rune shifted beside her. Archivist log. Human subverts drone protocols without interface. Contraband yield rising. His codes flickered. Quota eyes gleamed. Sarai ignored him. Oxygen steady. Squad rations checked. Pocket impregnable. Enemy blind. One breath. Silence stretched. Jonah's eyes narrowed at the sealed face. Waiting. Vibrations returned. Sarth bypassed the net. Ground forces massed. Claws scraped rubble. Manual breach. Take the human alive. Sarai decided. Opened single breach. Her gauntlet pulse charge. Minimal yield. Wall cracked precise. 1 meter gap. Rear access to enemy lines. Jonah rose. Knife sheathed. Bare hands ready. Nodded once. Slipped through. She sealed it behind him. Squad covered. Scans blanked his trace. Enemy rear erupted. Jonah ghosted through shadows. Sarth's pack encircled the pocket. 20 raiders. Claws primed. Breach teams drilled. Jonah flanked the outer cordon. No charge, no blade. Hand clamped first sentry's throat. Silenced. Dragged to cover. Second guard turned. Jonah's elbow crushed windpipe. Dropped. Third spotted shadow. Jonah lunged. Palm strike to mandible. Raider crumpled. He stripped emitter badge. Clipped to his harness. Sarai's proxy feed flickered. Limited range. Jonah advanced. 5 raiders down. Silent. Pack leader Sarth paced command not. Push the breach. Humans mine. Jonah circled. Reached alpha flank. 2 elites guarded Sarth. Jonah vaulted low cover. Grabbed first elite's tail. Yanked, spun into second. Collision felled both. claws slashed air. Sarth whirled, fangs bared. Human, Jonah closed, dodged claw swipe, grabbed wrist, twisted, bone snapped. Sarth lunged bite, Jonah sidestepped, knee to gut, doubled him, armbar locked. Pack leader pinned face down. Jonah knelt heavy, knife pressed, not piercing trachea. Raiders froze, 20 muzzles trained, hesitated. Sarai's node spiked, proxy caught whisper. Jonah's voice low. Human tongue laced alien code. Stand down sequence. Alpha compromised. Transmit. Sarth bucked, Jonah tightened. Whisper repeated, precise frequencies. Raider badges crackled. Pack channels lit. Stand down propagated. Raiders lowered claws, stepped back. Call gasped. He knows their hierarchy codes, verbal override. Sarai's crest burned. Human spoke predator surrender. As standard procedure, Sarth snarled into dirt. Kill him! Jonah pressed knife. Whispered third time, Pack complied, rifles dropped. Raiders knelt. Chain complete. Proxy feed held. Jonah hauled Sarth up. Bound wrists, marched him forward. Toward her breach, enemy rear yielded. Pack surrendered wholesale. Sarai opened the gap wider, squad flanked. Jonah emerged, Sarth in tow, bloodied but breathing. Human eyes met hers, gauntlet, claim sealed. Call activated transmitter. War Archivist log, Pack leader Sarth captured intact. Human assets secured under Commander Sarai Vex operational necessity. Claim codes uplinked, rivals forfeit. Sarth glared, silent. Jonah released him to her squad, stepped close, Sarai's breath caught. His hand cupped her crest. Thumb traced pulse. Rules rewritten. Quiet fell, Pack knelt. Breach sealed, victory absolute. Sarai slammed her gauntlet onto the command pad, seal ignited. Transfer order flashed green. Jonah Cade, human asset bound to her chain of command. Competing claims from Call's archive voided in one stroke. Proxy feeds across the sector locked the uplink. Call lunged forward, crest flared red. Commander Vex, that seal overrides nothing. War Archivist priority supersedes field ops. The human transmits Raider overrides. Contraband protocol demands my custody. Quota unmet. Jonah stepped between them. Unbound, blood streaked his fatigues, eyes locked on Calls, human hand flexed. No weapon drawn, voice cut low. Archivist rune, Directive 47 Alpha, battlefield salvage clause. Operational necessity trumps quota if asset yield exceeds 300% projected value. Words flowed in flawless high command dialect, pauses precise. Pack leader Sarth intact, 20 raiders knelt, yield 450%, clause invoked. Call froze, mandibles clicked, scanned his own pad. Data scrolled. How those are sealed annexes restricted to central command. Standard procedure. Jonah's gaze never wavered. We train cross-doctrine, your public feeds leak enough, rest from captured nodes. Sarai's node spiked. Human dissected their bureaucracy like a gutted foe. Not tactics, not combat, administrative predation. He rewrote possession from within their rules better than any officer she'd commanded. Call's crest dimmed. Yield verified, clause. Applies, he retracted his challenge code. Pad beeped defeat. Sarai pressed her advantage. Log it, Archivist, addendum now, human under my protection, strategic deterrent designation. Call hesitated. Proxy caught his whisper to central archive. Override denied. Vex claims asset. Fingers danced, recorded. Jonah turned, faced the kneeling pack. Sarth glared from dirt, wrists bound loose, no muzzle clamps, no shock collars. Human whistled sharp, two tones. Raiders rose, single file. Rifles stacked aside, marched forward. Sarai's squad tensed. Muzzles tracked, she signaled hold. Jonah walked point. Empty hands, Pack followed, shoulders hunched. Eyes down past her breach line. 20 predators trailed one human, no restraints, no rebellion. Sarth snarled once. Jonah's head snapped. Knife hand twitched, Raider silenced. Line held, they cleared the gap, squad sealed breach. Jonah halted before her. Pack knelt again, now on her side. Sarai's breath hitched, human close, heat radiated. Earlier touch lingered on her crest. Pulse thrummed under skin, rules bent. Possession sealed, not just asset, hers, Call's pad chimed. After action log, Jonah Cade, strategic deterrent, custody, Captain Sarai Vex, protection absolute, rival claims forfeit, uplink complete. Sarth's pack stilled, eyes widened, realization hit. Raider Alpha broken not by force but by human words that chained their own kind. Sarai held the field, gauntlet raised. No words needed, squad stood down, call bowed crest. Every alien present froze, challenges died, quiet expanded, battlefield empty of threat. Jonah's eyes met hers, claim absolute, silence.